Alright beauties, I know y'all have seen this before, but this is my dresser that has Complexione products, then blush, bronzer, and highlight.
Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another day of Derissmas. Today's video, we are continuing our declutter series with highlighters. Alright beauties, before we dive in, please don't forget to thumbs up the video if you like what you see. Subscribe down below if you have not yet, and turn on the post notifications. That bell, just click the little bell down there. Maybe YouTube will let you know when I upload a video. Anyways, we are continuing on in our collection and declutter series, and today it's all about highlighters. Again, as I said in the first video, and the second video, I'm really trying to be as cutthroat as I possibly can. I am trying to declutter half. That's my goal, but at least a third. So, and again, disclaimer, I know I have a lot of makeup kind of in comparison to the everyday person, but this is my job. I take it very, very seriously, and I'm 100% grateful for all that I do have. So we're going to dive in. I buy these little containers off of Amazon, anywhere pretty much, for very, very cheap. And this is how I store them. And then I also have these little trays that connect together that you can get from Walmart in the little kitchen section for like $6. So very inexpensive storage system. I will start over here and we'll move our way down. Again, if something is so used that it has a lot of hard pan, the texture looks different, smells different, etc., it gets thrown away. If it's very, very old, of course it's going to get thrown away. If I can sanitize it and I know that I can put it on my MERCARI, I will do that. My link is always down below. And then other things that maybe I can't sell, they're still good, so I don't want to toss them, I will sanitize and I pass along to family and friends. So we're going to dive in. And again, if this gets long, y'all know what I say. Get them tacos and tequila, your gingerbread, your cookies, your milk, your whatever you want to eat. Whatever you want to eat and drink, and just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. But thank you so much for the patience. So first up is my Cookie Cosmetics Soft Glow Highlighter in Heavenly. I just got this recently. It is such a beautiful, blinding fold formula. You guys, can we just appreciate the beauty? Long lasting on the skin. It kind of melts into the skin. It doesn't sit on top of the skin and make me look older than I am. Doesn't emphasize texture. You catching what I'm putting down? Keeping love. Absolutely love. Next up, another one of my favorites is the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. I will say this is definitely more pink than I traditionally go, but I mean, already in the pan, you can see how beautiful it is. Stunning, stunning formula. Also lasts a long time on the skin. Very, very blinding. Not chunky, not glittery. None of that. Keeping love. Next up is my W7 Gloco Motion Shimmer Highlighter or Eyeshadow. Has a good size mirror with it, I will say that. This one's not quite as blinding. It is a really pretty formulation, but it is also slightly more chunky than some of the other ones and not quite as pigmented. I do like it, but I am going to go ahead and pass it along. It is a recent find for me. I got it from Kate. I do like it, but it's not my favorite. And again, I'm really trying to be cutthroat here. Next up, never even opened this because I didn't like the previous one that I tried. So why do I have it? I don't know. This is the Wet n Wild Highlighting Powder in the Mega Glow Botanic Dream. I'm going to pass this along. Next up is my Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder in the shade Privilege. Beautiful, beautiful component. I will say, when I first tried this, I did not like it at all. And you can see that it is quite subtle, and it doesn't really offer a whole lot of actual highlight, if you will. But what I like to do, thank you to Kat over at Kat's Iby Beauty, is take a nice fluffy brush, and I will, when I set my face, when I get all my foundation and stuff on, I will go in with this on a fluffy brush. I will go in with a fluffy brush, and I will kiss the top planes of my face. I will go around the perimeter of my face, and it just offers this beautiful, subtle glow. And for that reason, I really do love it. I will tell you though, if you're looking for something that off the bat is just super blinding, this is not it. It kind of reminds me of the way that it's like super hard pressed in here. It reminds me of the Amrizi highlight from ABH. Beautiful formula, but not the absolute most blinding here. And it does take a little bit to get the pigmentation out. But I am going to keep it, and I really do like it. Next up is my Kylight highlighter from Kylie Jenner, and this is the Queen Drip. I don't even honestly know if I've tested this out yet. I got this and like a bronzer and a blush when Ulta did a $10 sale, so I don't even know if I used it. Yeah, I never used it. Honestly, I have enough, and even though I would like to try the formula, I don't need it, and I know I don't need it. Next up is the one I just talked about, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrizi highlighter. I do really love the component. It is nice and heavy. You can tell that it is well made. It is a quite hard baked product. I don't always feel like it sets really well on textured skin. If my skin is kind of really, really dry, or if I don't prep well, it doesn't look the best on me. But you kind of get in here, and when you do get in here, y'all, it's blinding. And it is a beautiful, beautiful formula. It does last a long time on the skin, but again, like the Nabla one, you kind of have to get in here to get the product out. It is definitely quite pigmented though, and more blinding than what the Nabla one is, but it's beautiful and I am keeping it. All right, moving along, we're in the next little tray. And first up, I have my little Too Faced Love Light You Light Up My Life Prismatic Highlighter. Holy hell. Beautiful little components. I really like the packaging. And this is another one that is very similar to the Nabla one. It's so hard pressed that it takes a little while to kind of build up the pigmentation, but it is absolutely stunning. This one doesn't last on my skin as long as some of the other ones do that I have, but it is beautiful and I love the shade, so we're going to keep this one. Next up is my Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade Molten Rose Gold. When I first got this, I used the absolute crap out of this, and it is a beautiful, beautiful highlight. I will say, you can probably already tell, as soon as you touch it, it literally goes everywhere. It is a quite loose, powdery highlight, and obviously a little bit dusty. I am going to go ahead and pass this along. I think I've had it for well over a year, and I haven't touched it in a while because I have other ones that I love more. But if you're looking for a drugstore highlighter that is beautiful, again, it's slightly chunky, slightly more powdery, but beautiful. We're going to pass that one along. Next up, a more recent find also is the Jouer Molten Glow All Over Face and Body Highlight. First of all, that packaging is gorgeous. This is a stunning formula, you guys. Absolutely blinding. One of the better highlights that I've ever used. Absolutely stunning, blinding, lasts all day on the skin. Very comfortable formulation. It melts into the skin. There's no chunkiness. There is no glitter. It's beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Keeping, for sure. Next up is this little I Heart Revolution Vanilla Frosting, little highlight, little donut. It smells so good. It's so cute and so kitschy. I love the packaging. It's like smushy. I will say it's not my favorite formulation. It is really pretty, I will say that, but it's also more of kind of a dusty, kind of softer type of a highlighter, and it does not last on the skin as much. For those reasons, even though it is beautiful and I love the shade, I am going to pass it along. Next up, I'll just show all of them at one time. I have a problem with Ofra highlighters. They are my favorite highlighters. I've said this a million times. Fantastic, fantastic formulation. Their face products are incredible. I did actually have another one. This is actually Rodeo Drive. There was all of the lights in this, but I switched it and put it into my Boho palette, which is like their big face palette. So I do have a brand new Rodeo Drive. I'm not going to swatch this because I have not used it yet. Fantastic, fantastic formula. I also have the Glow Goals, which is the Ofra and Nikki Tutorials. I absolutely love their formula. They're incredible, you guys. Very long lasting on the skin. Again, super, super blinding. Oh my God. But not chunky, not glittery. Very, very soft and silk-like. They, again, blend into the skin instead of sitting on top of the skin. They're fantastic. The staying power is there. They offer several shades. I cannot rave enough about Ofra highlighters. They're incredible. I also have the Ofra and Madison Miller highlighter in Sea Shimmer. I don't even think I've used it yet. I haven't used this one yet either. This one is more of kind of a soft champagne-y pinky shade. I love the formula, so I might get rid of any of these. And then this one is the Nikki Tutorials and Ofra Everglow highlighter. I have used the crap out of this one, and it is absolutely stunning. I will mix these two together in the wintertime. I will mix these two together in the summertime and in the summertime. I love to take this, y'all, if you have medium to deep skin, this would be gorgeous. But in the summertime, I like to literally just run this across my eyes as well and then put on the highlight. Oh my gosh, you guys, beautiful formula. And we get them all the time in our Ipsy bags, things like that. Which brings me to this one. This is one that I got in an Ipsy bag, I'm pretty sure. I haven't even opened it yet because, again, I have way too many. I do want to look at it up close because I haven't even opened it yet. This one is the Ofra and Talia Mar highlight in Covent Garden. I'm not going to open this. I feel like this is quite similar as far as having a pink shift to it, to the Madison Miller one. So I am going to go ahead. I can't believe I'm doing this. Cannot believe I'm doing this, but I have 5 of them, so I am going to pass this one along. But you guys, beautiful formula. If you've never tried them, highly, highly recommend. Next up, I have my ColourPop Champagne Bubbles Pressed Illuminator. Again, the packaging on these is trash. I hate the fucking packaging on these. But this is what it looks like. You can see that this was in my project pan. I've really been trying to get through this, y'all. It smells amazing. The only thing I will say about this, it does not last as long on the skin, and it is kind of a more chunky type of formulation for a highlighter, but it still sits on the skin beautifully. I love the scent of it. The shade is perfection. And I loved it so much I got a second one. So I'm keeping both of these. I love this, and it was like a limited edition and cannot be found. So I'm really scared if I get rid of one, I'm gonna regret it. So I'm gonna hold on to both. Next up is my Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. It has like the little kind of cream topper that you would kind of press down first and then lay your powders on top. It is a blinding formula, but again, it's kind of more of a like soft or pressed, kind of more, I don't like saying chunky, but more of like a dusty type of formula. And although they are beautiful and blinding, I don't feel like they last as long on the skin, and the formulation is just not my all-time favorite. For that reason, I'm going to pass it along. Next up is one that I debated on decluttering in my last one, and I decided to keep it because I loved it so much, but it's time to let her go. It's an Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne palette. This is another one that's kind of a more looser, kind of more dusty. I hate saying that word because it makes it sound like it's a bad product, but it's not. It's absolutely stunning, and it sits beautifully on the skin as well. But it's older, and of course, I'm not really reaching for it. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter that as well. Next up is my Jaclyn Cosmetics The Flash palette, you guys. I know the whole lipstick gate thing was bad, okay? However, her highlight, beautiful. First of all, the packaging is quite luxe. It's very heavy, very, very, very nice. This is one of my favorite highlights, you guys. I also love that there are 4 different shades that you could go into. These are blinding. They do last all day on the skin. It has such a beautiful silk-like quality to it. It's stunning. Again, doesn't accentuate texture or anything like that. I love her formula, you guys. It's beautiful. It was pricey, but it is beautiful, and I say it's worth the cost. Next up is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit. And I will show you what this looks like. This has marshmallow, gumdrop, butterscotch, and starburst. And that is what they look like. I do like that you can take the pans out of this. This is, again, a really beautiful formulation. Nice and blinding. I do feel like these last a long time on the skin. Again, not glittery, not thick. There's not heavy particles in it or anything like that. It's not a chunky formulation that sits on top of the skin and looks like a stripe. It's beautiful, and I will be keeping this. I need to use it more. I think I've only used it twice, maybe. That's another reason why I'm trying to declutter, so that I don't have as much to kind of pick from, and I'm not kind of stuck in my ways using the same shit over and over again. Next up, another one of my favorites. It is the Hourglass Ambient Absolute Strobe Lighting Kit. It's the metallic one. This formula, you guys, it reminds me a whole lot of the Jaclyn ones, the way that it's pressed. These are stunning. Absolutely stunning. They do last all day on the skin. Again, they have that beautiful high shine kind of wet look. Doesn't sit on top of the skin. Again, it's not chunky. It's not glittery. I love a beaming highlight, but I want wet skin look. I don't want glitter. I don't want a full stripe of highlight on my skin. And this is beautiful. I would highly recommend. It is expensive, but if you're on the hunt for a more luxe type of highlighter, it is beautiful, and I don't think you'd be disappointed. Next up is by Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the Moonlit Powder, Luminous Powder in the shade Carrots. This is what I have all over my face, and then I have my Koki as far as like my regular highlight. It is beautiful. I use this in the exact same way that I use the Nabla one. It is very, very finely milled. The component is stunning. I love the shade of this, and it is so finely milled that it feels like silk on the skin. This is not a highlighter. It is a glow from within type of kind of all over powder. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning. So definitely keeping that. Next up is my little Gourmande girls. They're an indie brand. I do have a discount code down below at all times. And it looks like this. It has several different shades. You could use these as eyeshadows, toppers, highlighters. I really have only reached into a couple of these different shades. Obviously, I would never use these as highlights. That's my own personal preference. But they're absolutely beautiful. And the pigmentation on these, I'm running out of room, is also stunning. They're really beautiful. Again, they blend into the skin. They don't sit on top of the skin. They're blinding and more wet looking, not chunky, heavy, glittery. Beautiful, beautiful palette. Next up is my little Fenty Beauty. This is the Kilowatt Highlight in Hustler Baby. I love her formula so much. This is kind of a peachy gold shade. Again, this is a kind of softer pressed, like, you know, when your brush goes into it, you are going to see a little bit of fallout into the pan, as you can see down here. So it is slightly more, again, kind of dusty. I hate using that word. Y'all give me a better word. They're looser in here. They're more kind of like chalky type of formula. I don't know how else to say it. But as you can see, very, very blinding. I love the shift on this. The shade on this is quite unique because it is gold, but it leans more peach. Normally you'll see champagne, you'll see more pinky highlighters, or you'll see more icy. So I think this is like a beautiful blend. And it does last long on the skin. They're really beautiful. So keeping this for sure. Next up, I have a full size of the Fenty Beauty. Same thing. I really do enjoy their formula. This is the Afternoon Snack and Mo Honey. I really, really love this. Again, her formulation is beautiful. So we're keeping those. I'm keeping too many. Next up is my little LA Colors little highlight in the shade Shine Bright. I am going to declutter this simply for the shade of it. It is just not something I'm going to use. But I will tell you, especially for $1, you guys, it's beautiful. But I'm going to pass it along only because it's not my shade. Next up is this Shayna B Miami highlighter in Guava Glow. Again, it's more like kind of a dusty, more powdery type of formula. These, for me, don't tend to stay on my skin as long. So for that reason, I am going to declutter it. It is beautiful, though. Like the shade of it is stunning. Next up is this Wonder Beauty Wondrous Glow little mini highlighter in After Hours. This is another one that is very, very beautiful. I have not tried a whole lot from Wonder Beauty, but this formulation is stunning, you guys. This one does have good staying power to it. I think it is absolutely beautiful, so I will hold on to that for sure. Next up are my two little Morphe Spark highlighters. I have one that I accidentally swatched because I forgot I had this one. I am going to declutter the one that I did swatch, and I'll sanitize that. And this one right here, again, it has kind of a more chunky-ish type of texture to it. You can see there's a ton of fallout in here. When you do take your brush or anything like that into it, you're going to get a substantial amount of kind of kickback from there. You guys know that doesn't really bother me a whole lot. The staying power, again, is really not there with this particular highlighter, but it is beautiful. And y'all can see, I mean, I like gold highlighters. I like the kind of light, champagne-y gold, like rose gold, anything with gold. But yeah, I am going to keep it. I do like it. I think the formula is nice. It's just, again, slightly more dusty, if you will, slightly more chalky, and doesn't stay on the skin all day long. Next up is my Glam Light Cookies and Milk. I recently got this, of course. It is a loose highlighter. It is a little deep for me right now, so I am going to hold on to it, and I do plan on using it, obviously, in the summertime. Next up is my Too Faced How Many Do I Give? Y'all know how many? None. not one. There was so much controversy surrounding this. I love Erica Jane. I love anybody that just speaks their mind. Hopefully y'all know that by now. I am, however, going to declutter it as much as I freaking love the pack. Do I want to keep it? No, I'm going to declutter it. I'm trying to be hardcore here. But this is another one, still very pretty. But again, it is that kind of more softly packed, a little bit more kind of dusty or chunky, if you will. And it doesn't last as long on the skin. It has beautiful pigmentation to it. And the color is stunning, especially when you mix them both together. But I am going to go ahead and pass that along. Next up, I got this in a Tribe Beauty box, I believe. It is the Annette 69 and Beauty Creations highlighter. And I am going to pass this along only because, I mean, I've had it for all this time and I think I literally used it once. This is another one that's more kind of hard pressed. Again, it's really, really pretty, but hi, how many gold highlighters does one person need? Moving along, we're going to pass it along. Next up. Okay, well, I had more Ofra highlighters than I thought. This is the Ofra Beverly Hills highlighter. I am also pretty sure I didn't even open this yet or use, no, I didn't. Woo-wee! But it's beautiful. This reminds me of my All of the Lights one that I have that I told you guys was in my boho palette, where it has several different shades. You can use them separately as toppers. You can use them to highlight the brow bone. You can use them separately to highlight your face. I like to run them all together in my All of the Lights one. And again, my favorite highlight formula, just period. They're beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. So that's a lot of Ofra highlighters. Ofra, call me girl. Next up is this little mystery skin frost right here. And it's just quite chunky. It was a really pretty formulation, but it is really chunky and it does not sit the best on my skin. So we're going to pass that along. Next up is my Makeup Revolution and the Nightmare Before Christmas highlighter. This, when I tested it, it's okay. It is not the best highlighter that I've ever used, but I am going to obviously hold on to it because it holds nostalgic value for me. But I will show it to you guys. I love the component. It is absolutely beautiful. And it has Jack on here. It's another one that's very loose. As you can see, I'm barely touching it and you can see it's just kind of flying away everywhere. It's still pretty. I love the shade. I'm going to hold on to it. But for me, you guys know staying power is everything in my cosmetics. I want to do my makeup, you guys, and then not have to look back in the mirror. Basically, I'm just a lazy bitch. That's all. Last, we're going to dive into this little thing and then we're done, you guys. Look, I'm rocking and a rolling, y'all. All right. First up, I have this little Moon Dust by Ciate London. I am going to go ahead and declutter this. You can see, again, it is another one that's very soft in here. You can barely touch it and it's going to fly everywhere. It doesn't last as long on the skin, but it's beautiful. It is beaming. Again, it's not glittery or anything like that. I don't need it. I'm going to pass it along. Next up is this little Luna highlighter in the shade Calypso. I was obsessed at one point with purple and like lilac. It is a beautiful, beautiful formulation. Again, it's kind of more harder pressed. I feel like these work better in my personal opinion. They last longer, etc. But I've not used it in a long time, so I'm going to pass that along. Next up, I have a couple of the Iby Beauty Highlighters. They are another little indie brand. I have Radiant Glow and Private Jet. This is another formulation that is absolutely stunning. Again, it's slightly more soft pressed, so I don't feel like they're quite as long lasting, but again, it's very, very pretty. I am going to hold on to both of these. I like the formula a lot. Next up are my iconic London Illuminator. Y'all, I'm tired as shit. It's the middle of the night. I'm exhausted from Derissmas. Not gonna lie, you guys. But it is the Liquid Illuminator in the shade Blush. I don't know, because I have a few now of these and I don't always use liquid illuminators. But I like them in the summertime. Shit, I don't know. And the way that I like to do my liquid illuminators, you guys, I will either take them and put them on my hand like this and then put my foundation in and kind of mix it together, or I will press these gently, of course, at the top planes of my face, then put my foundation on, and then it just kind of shows through and kind of peeks through this beautiful luminous quality. I think I am going to hold on to it just because I do like them for summertime. Same thing with the Milani Strobe Light Liquid Highlighter. This is beautiful, and I love the way that it comes out, the little component. Again, I would put a couple little dots, press it out just a little bit. You can put it on top of makeup. I don't have a mirror, so bear with me, y'all. But I will put literally a dot, and then very, very softly, I will take my finger, or you can use a sponge or a stippling brush. And if you do choose to use it on top of your makeup, I would do it before you set so that it sets right on top of the rest of your makeup, your complexion products. But it is absolutely stunning. This color is beautiful and the formulation is beautiful. It lasts all day. So I do it one or the other way. I like to put it underneath my foundation or literally a dot and press it at the very, very top of the cheek. So that's my long way of saying I'm going to keep them. Next up is this little mini space case. This is called Scene from Space. I think I'm going to declutter it just because I have so many and it's a little bit lighter. It's kind of leaning more very light champagne, but it's an okay formula. It is really, really pretty. But again, I'm trying to be hardcore with this, y'all. Next up is the Laura Geller Illuminator in Gilded Honey. This is another one that's kind of like the Nabla one and stuff like that, where they're quite hard pressed in the pan. So you kind of have to really get in here. But then when you do, girl, these are stunning. This also does last on the skin for a very long time. It gives that beautiful glass, wet skin look. Not glittery, not heavy, not chunky. Doesn't emphasize texture or anything like that. Doesn't emphasize texture or anything like that. It's beautiful and I am going to hold on to it. Y'all, look, I have so much highlight on my face now. Like the other day when I sprayed a million setting sprays on my face. Let me tell y'all, I had to double cleanse and use a makeup wipe, then wash my face in the shower. So if anyone says that setting sprays don't work, I'll be damned. Because yes, they do. Next up is a little mini Jouer highlighter in the shade Topaz. I do have the big full-size one, and this one is getting a little bit old and kind of crusty, dusty. So we're going to pass that. Actually, let me feel it. God, that's a beautiful formula. I think I'm going to give this to a friend or something. I don't think it's quite ready to go in the trash, although it's probably heading that way. We'll see. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. Next up is this LA Colors Beauty in Bloom highlighter in the shade Dew Drop. You guys, this is so beautiful. For $1 especially. It's quite dusty. I'm not going to lie. It is very dusty. But look how pretty that is. Absolutely stunning, and especially for $1. I like to swirl all of them together. You could also separate them, get a little pencil brush and get in here and use it for your inner corner or whatever. It is a beautiful little formula. I don't feel like it lasts forever on the skin, but it doesn't show texture or anything like that, and it's $1, y'all. I'm keeping that. Last but certainly not least, I literally just got this, literally just opened it this evening. It is the Moonchild Glow Kit by Anastasia, Beverly Hills. JACKIENATURALS sent this to me. Her beautiful face will be right here. And she's going to be linked down below. Please go check her out. And thank you, Jackie. This is the Moonchild Glow Kit from ABH. And it is a more kind of cool toned, icy type of highlighter palette. I am, as much as I think this is beautiful, I know for myself, and again, I'm trying to be cutthroat. I know that I'm not going to end up using it, but I'm very, very grateful. But I'm going to go ahead and pay it forward to one of you guys. Of course, this is definitely not going to make it in time for the holidays. But you guys say thank you to Jackie. I'm going to pay this forward to one of you guys. If you want to enter to win, same thing as always. Just comment down below, enter me with a yellow heart. Ends in 1 week from today at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I will get that sent out to you. You must be subscribed. I must be able to verify you are subscribed. And you must be 18 and be in the United States, please. So thank you, Jackie. I'm absolutely going to pay it forward. I appreciate it so, so much. But again, your girl has 2 million highlighters. So that is it, beauties. And again, pertinent rules will be down below. YouTube is not liable for nor responsible for this giveaway. That is it, you guys. I, of course, like I have been doing, I'm going to say what we started with, what we decluttered, and what we threw away. All that kind of jazz is going to be boop, boop, boop right there. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Thank you, Jackie, for the beautiful palette. I love you guys. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, and be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.